His Excellency, Secretary General Kim Hae-yong, ambassadors, distinguished speakers, guests, a pleasant day to all. I am Undersecretary Angelo Nuestro of the Department of ICT in the Philippines, and I am honored to share to you what my office is currently doing for my country. One of the priorities of the Philippines administration is digital transformation. It has significant impact on people's lives. This was especially highlighted during the pandemic. Because of this, the presentation shall be focused on ICT connectivity projects. As of date, we have three main projects: the National Broadband Plan, Government Networks or GovNet, and Free Wi-Fi for All program. Each of these have their own goals and challenges, and each of them has a different strategy to execute. This is the blueprint of the connectivity in the Philippines. As you can see, there are many different approaches to give connectivity to the country. This is something that will be explained thoroughly in this presentation, and we will go back to this slide to once again see the full picture. You can also see all the other options that we are looking at. We believe that there are many different solutions available, and depending on the use case, the best technologies will be applied, both in terms of affordability and reliability. First, we will discuss the National Broadband Plan. There are 5 phases of the NBP, and the goal is to provide the Philippines its fiber backbone. This is, in fact, our first mile. Our project will eventually be connected, other projects will eventually be connected to our NBP. Our phase 1 is currently at 80% completion, expected to be completed by May next year. Phase 1 is about connecting our landing stations, as we have Meta, formerly Facebook, bypassing the Philippines from Baler, which is the eastern part of the red lines, to San Fernando, which is in the western part of the red lines. And this would give us 2 terabits of bandwidth in exchange. The phase 1 also goes up north on the western coast of the Luzon Island. With recent adjustments to our budget, phase 2 and 3 are planned to be bidded out on 2023, side by side, as they are not dependent on each other. Procuring it in parallel will let northern Luzon, southern Luzon, and parts of northern Visayas to have the fiber backbone. Visayas is the central part of the country. Afterwards, phase 4 and 5 shall be executed. This can also go along phase 2 and 3, as our only restriction would be the budget. We plan to have PPPs, public-private partnerships, for these phases. We can also get the backbone from the private sector, such as the Philippine Fiber Optic Cable Network for fiber, and submarine cables from Infinivan. Of course, we are open for options. GovNet would consist of various strategies, like having memorandum of agreements with electric cooperatives. Well, this is a whole lot of more discussions for this. Through PPPs, and even through overseas development assistance, of which Korea is currently planning and extending to the Philippines. The ODA by Korea will consist of having government networks built on regions 1, 2, 4B, and 5 This is particularly useful for us, as mentioned earlier. The hindrance for deploying our backbone would be the budget. Maybe it's worth to mention that the consulting company Dayong Ubitech, or DYU, has completed its feasibility study and is preparing it for presentation to Export-Import Bank of Korea. Another ODA that is being looked into is with JICA, as they are currently studying on putting GovNet at the eastern part of Visayas. They are also studying connecting Batanes, the northern chain of islands, the northern part of the Philippines. One important thing to note is that the different entities looking at what to build are all different from each other, so there won't be any duplicity of work. Our third project is the Free Wi-Fi for All program, providing free Wi-Fi to public places such as public schools, government offices, public hospitals, and health centers, and the like. The target of the administration is to have 70 million users connected. Alongside it is the objective of connecting the unconnected, our geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, or GIDA sites. We all know how transformative digitalization is to the unconnected and the underserved, and it all begins with connectivity. Our first goal of 70 million users is aimed to be accomplished in 6 years. We will do it through fiber optics, through our projects like provincial Wi-Fi networks and managed internet services. As for the GIDA sites, we will use various methodologies to connect the unconnected, serve the underserved. We can put in Starlink, get bandwidth from PSN of Indonesia, and even procuring our own satellite, which is in the study phase. We are currently talking to various satellite providers. Overall, those are our projects, and once again, I'm showing you the blueprint and overview, showing what we will do or plan to do from backbone, middle mile, and the last mile. Thank you.